Fate is like a river that can't be reversed. We can't stop its flow, but we can learn to sail gracefully through the waves. The Stoic concept of amor fati, love of fate, isn't about submission. It's about awareness. When you stop resisting, the world opens up new possibilities. In a world of technological disruption, ecological crises, cultural fusion, and complex relationships, what we can do isn't run away, but embrace it. Adversity is the soil for growth, and change brings opportunities. Only by accepting the weight of fate can we lift the meaning of life. In this video, we'll talk about amor fati, how to find a sense of control in an uncontrollable world and turn our experiences into fuel for growth. Before we start, make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell so you don't miss out on more exciting content. Now, let's dive into the wisdom of amor fati. The world cannot be controlled, but the mind can be tamed. In ancient Athens, the philosopher Zeno, shipwrecked and stranded on foreign shores, had everything, his goods, wealth, and trade routes, swallowed by the sea. Standing amidst the ruins, he didn't lament the unfairness of fate. Instead, he walked into a bookstore and immersed himself in the thoughts of Socrates, laying the foundation for Stoicism. The core of Stoic philosophy is not the destruction of emotions, but the training of the mind, to tame desire with reason and to navigate adversity with wisdom. They believed the world is constantly changing, and while we can't control its course, we can shape how we perceive it. True freedom isn't about controlling everything, but about remaining composed regardless of external changes. Better to love fate than to resist it. In Stoic philosophy, amor fati, love of fate, is about embracing reality fully, not passively enduring it. As Seneca once said, we often fear things more than the things themselves. Much of human suffering stems from resistance, resisting loss, resisting change, resisting the inevitable. Amor fati is a transcendence that not only asks us to accept reality, but to love it, to see every challenge as an opportunity to sharpen our will. A person trapped in the wilderness by a storm can curse the weather or align with the wind and find a new way forward. True strength doesn't ask, "Why me?" but instead thinks, "Given this, how should I proceed?" Only by accepting the weight of fate can we lift the meaning of life. Amor fati is not just a personal discipline. Its value permeates all aspects of life. In personal growth, it helps us release attachment to the past and anxiety about the future, allowing us to focus fully on the present. In our careers, it teaches us to embrace change, to approach challenges with an open mind, and to seek opportunities within uncertainty. On a societal level, it urges us to confront the world's imperfections, not to dwell in complaint, but to engage in changing what we can. Fate never promised anyone a smooth journey, but when we truly embrace it, it no longer becomes a constraint. Instead, it becomes a key that opens the door to a broader world. The waves will never cease, we must learn to ride them. The torrent of technology is propelling the world toward an unknown future. Artificial intelligence is reshaping industry rules. Algorithms are replacing experience. Big data is controlling markets, and automation is consuming traditional jobs. People fear whether their skills will someday become obsolete and worry whether cold machines will replace human value. But the truth is, the march of technology has never stopped because of anyone's fear, just as rivers do not change course due to the struggle of those swimming against them. We cannot resist this revolution, but we can decide whether we are swept along by it or whether we actively harness its power. Better to become part of the change than to fear it. The core of amor fati isn't just acceptance, but embrace. It's about finding our footing in the midst of massive change. Faced with technological disruption, some choose resistance, some choose adaptation, but the true wise ones see it as an opportunity. AI may have taken away certain jobs, but it has also created entirely new fields. Automation may have reduced repetitive labor, but it allows humans to engage in more creative work. Technology itself is neither good nor bad. The key lies in how we use it. If we continuously long for outdated models and fear an uncertain future, we can only passively wait for fate's arrangements. But if we are willing to understand, learn, and push boundaries, we can stand at the peak of the wave, not drown in the remnants of the past. What should control technology is not just code, but values. If technology is merely a race for efficiency, it will eventually lose its human warmth. In this revolution, ethical issues come to the forefront. Data boundaries, privacy respect, algorithm fairness. Every aspect determines how technology will shape the world. Without guidance by values, technology will merely be a blind sprint, ultimately leading to imbalance rather than prosperity. True amor fati is not blind faith in technology, but infusing it with responsibility, ethics, and foresight amidst its flood. Technology should not become the master of humanity, but should serve as a bridge to a more equitable and sustainable society. Only when we accept its irreversibility and provide it with the right direction can this revolution truly benefit the world, rather than become an uncontrollable storm. The Earth does not cater to human desires, it only responds to the laws of nature. The drastic shifts in climate are no longer a distant threat, but a reality we face today. Glaciers are melting, sea levels are rising, and extreme weather events are wreaking havoc. Nature is unmistakably signaling its rules. It does not operate according to human will, but follows its own laws. In the face of these changes, we cannot return to the past. We can only choose how to face the future. Resisting reality will only drain us in anger and helplessness, while true wisdom lies in recognizing what cannot be changed and channeling our energy into what we can influence. Better to learn to coexist with nature than to try to conquer it. Human history is often misunderstood as a triumph over nature, but the reality is that every technological leap has been accompanied by nature's backlash. The Industrial Revolution sparked an energy frenzy, but also accelerated carbon emissions. Globalization brought economic prosperity, but also drained resources. When ecological crises become undeniable, how should we respond? Stoic amor fati does not mean submitting to destruction, but rather guides us to find new possibilities within reality, driving innovation in green energy, optimizing industrial structures, and adjusting lifestyles. Adaptation is not compromise. It is a higher form of control, enabling us to shape the future while aligning with nature. The world is an interconnected web, and every decision echoes far and wide. Climate issues are not a challenge for any one country, but the fate of all humanity. Whether it's tech companies developing renewable energy, governments implementing carbon neutrality policies, or individuals altering consumption habits, every action is part of this ecological transformation. One lone effort cannot solve a systemic crisis. Only cross-sector collaboration can create the synergy of technology, policy, and social responsibility. When capital, innovation, and environmental principles converge, the climate crisis no longer remains a doomsday prophecy, but becomes an opportunity to reshape the world. Fate has placed us at this crossroads, and what we must do is not escape, but co-author a new direction. Suffering is the canvas, and creation is the response to fate. The greatest art often arises from the deepest suffering. Van Gogh painted Starry Night amidst poverty and mental collapse. Beethoven composed symphonies in the silence of deafness, and Kafka built absurd worlds from loneliness and anxiety. Creators cannot choose their fate, but they can choose how to interpret it. When life's struggles are unavoidable, art becomes a unique form of amor fati. It's not about escaping reality, but transforming it into language, images, or melodies, transcending through creation, and finding reconciliation through expression. Fate may not be kind, but in the reflection of art, even its bitterness can be imbued with meaning. Culture is not a boundary, but a flowing river. In the waves of globalization, culture is no longer a static boundary, but an ongoing fusion. Tradition and modernity, East and West, folk and mainstream, New expressions emerge through these collisions. In this intersection, amor fati is an attitude toward understanding the world, accepting cultural evolution, not resisting uncertainty, but finding one's place within diversity. Music blends different melodies, films merge multiple perspectives, literature bridges varying contexts. All cultural innovation stems from accepting change. True creativity isn't about holding on to the past, but discovering new possibilities amid transformation. Art is a mirror of the world and an echo of fate. Whether through film, theater, painting, poetry, photography, or installation art, every form of creation responds to the times in its own way. When society undergoes dramatic change, art becomes a window into how humans embrace fate. 2001. A Space Odyssey portrays humanity's survival instinct in the face of disaster. Haruki Murakami's novels depict individual redemption in the torrent of time. Picasso's Guernica condemns the brutality of war. Art is not just a tool for recording reality. It is a form of practice for humanity when facing an uncontrollable world. Every act of creation is a reshaping of fate, a search for order in chaos, and an effort to give meaning to suffering through aesthetics. Adversity is the forging of the soul, and resilience is the key to wisdom. Every challenge in life is an opportunity for spiritual growth. Whether it's a failure at work or dissatisfaction in personal life, adversity is inevitable. However, it is these challenges that provide us with opportunities to refine ourselves and build resilience. The Stoic philosophy of love-fate teaches us not to avoid or resist adversity, but to embrace it, viewing every pain as a chance to strengthen our inner selves. Through this approach, we learn to remain composed in the face of difficulties, allowing our spirit to grow more resilient in the storm. When we no longer waver due to uncontrollable events, we begin to achieve true inner freedom. Pressure in the workplace is the engine driving innovation. In the workplace, every challenge is a gateway to new opportunities. Relying too much on our comfort zone will only lead to stagnation. Rather than shrinking away from pressure, we can embrace it with a love-fate mindset, using it as a catalyst for growth. We can't eliminate all challenges at work, but we can shift our perspective and transform pressure into a driving force for innovation. When facing complex tasks and daily uncertainties, we learn to find our rhythm, unleash our creativity, and welcome each change. When we realize that every obstacle in our work is an opportunity for greater success, our careers begin to open up with limitless potential. Acceptance of emotions is the bridge to better relationships. The beauty of human relationships lies in their complexity. Each connection is full of challenges and opportunities. Whether working with colleagues or interacting with friends and family, we must find balance in various situations. The Stoic principle of love-fate teaches us to accept the diverse experiences others bring, whether joyful or painful. When we let go of excessive judgment and truly embrace the diversity in others, emotional communication becomes more harmonious. Each relationship can become fertile ground for growth, and by accepting different viewpoints and emotions, we mature in our social interactions, enhancing our emotional intelligence. Destiny cannot be chosen, but we can choose how to face it. The Stoic principle of loving fate teaches us that by accepting challenges and embracing uncertainty, we can find the strength to move forward amid the transformations in technology, ecology, and culture. Whether in personal growth or societal change, only by accepting the uncontrollable can we unlock infinite possibilities. Let us use this wisdom to create a future filled with resilience and hope.